Good morning, Western Washington, and happy Sunday. I'm Matthew Fab with Western Washington weather, and boy, it was quite an afternoon and evening and into the night across Western Washington yesterday, and we're going to take a look back at everything that happened, how it all went down, and then we're going to take a look at the forecast. So starting here with our satellite imagery from last night, you see our low move on shore. You see the areas of strong winds push through. That low pushes up into Canada there, and then you see all these showers behind it. Lots of lightning last night across the Oregon and Washington coast, and we had a ton of lightning across the coast yesterday as well. So if we rewind this satellite imagery a little bit, you can see that low. You see it swirl in right here off the central coast, brings that strong wind to its south, and then pushes north. And that was quite a storm we had. So taking a look here at the radar this morning, you can see lots of showers still moving on shore, lots of rain. It's cool right now as well, so we do have snow in the passes. So be aware of that if you are crossing the state today. You can see that rain moving across the area, more showers coming in this evening and or through the afternoon and into this evening, and then we will wind down those showers by the time we get to Monday. Maybe have a couple dry days this week, but we do have some more active weather on the horizon, and we'll take a look at that in just a moment. I want to start here with the National Weather Service public information statement, taking a look at the highest wind gusts in the last 24 hours. This is posted 5:15 a.m. And you can just kind of go through the counties here and see where these strongest winds were. So Clallam County, La Push, New Dungeness, Quileute, all that, not that much, 40 miles per hour or so up there. Grays Harbor County, Hoquiam Airport hit 77 miles per hour, the strongest gust in this storm. That was due to the bent back occlusion of the low, which is that strongest part of the low, moving over at the same time that a shower was moving over Hoquiam, and it mixed down some really strong gusts from aloft. Westport actually hit 71 miles per hour. I'm not really sure what the 54 is here, but Westport hit 71 miles per hour yesterday with sustained winds over 50. Whidbey Island hit 56 miles per hour. Port Townsend hit 60 miles per hour. And then you can see here, take a look at some of these gusts here. SeaTac Airport, 56 mile per hour peak gust. Boeing Field, 52 miles an hour. SeaTac Airport, I think this is actually Michael Snyder's house at SeaTac there, hit 52 miles per hour. Alki Beach at 51. Enumclaw at 50 with some of those winds that moved through. And we'll take a look at the power outages out there in just a moment. Sunset Hill of Seattle, 47 miles per hour. Shoreline, 46. It really did just blast through King County. You can see Shelton hit 47 miles per hour there. Pierce County there, you can see 75 miles per hour at Crystal Mountain. I'm not sure why it's not on this list, but Tacoma Narrows Airport hit an incredible 66 miles per hour. And that is probably, again, due to some convection mixing down some stronger gusts, but that may be one of the strongest gusts in the Puget Sound area since the Hanukkah Eve storm of 2006, that 66 mile per hour gust last night at Tacoma Narrows Airport. You can see Tacoma also hit 60 miles per hour with the cell moving through around 1:30, and then 53 miles per hour in downtown. Fort Lewis hit 46 miles per hour, and then Painfield hit 49, Olympia hit 46, Bellingham 47, and then some of the maritime stations here you can see there. Westport tide gauge hit 71 miles per hour, West Point there in Seattle hit 54, Shilshole Marina hit 47. So overall, just a really strong storm across the region, and that is why here you can see the Puget Sound Energy map. As of 11:30 a.m., 119,600 people without power, especially across Thurston County, which got hit very hard. And then you can see how areas from like Graham and Kapowsin all the way up through Maple Valley and then up onto the east side got hit pretty hard from this as well with these southerly winds. These are some of the same areas that got hit crazy with the bomb cyclone last year, but these winds were out of a different direction, and that is what caused some more outages here. And you can see some of these outages stretching up the entire town of North Bend there, and then out along Highway 410 toward Chinook Pass. So overall, just a really damaging storm for a lot of the area. Look at some of these outages on the east side too. Looking at the bigger picture here on the poweroutage.com map, you can see 132,000 customers out of power across Washington, and this is down a lot from the peak of 273,000 last night, and you can see King County leading there, but Grays Harbor County has a lot, and Thurston County still has about 30% of the county without power. Grays Harbor County at peak last night had over 58% of the county without power as those strongest winds moved in. And I will be out here in eastern King County and Pierce County later today getting some video of the storm damage, and I'll also post some video later of my storm chase on the coast yesterday on the Long Beach Peninsula with Michael Snyder of Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. It was quite an afternoon and evening out there on the coast. We recorded a 62-mile-per-hour gust on Michael's anemometer. So now taking a look at what is coming up. You see our trough moves through today. That is what's bringing all those showers. We have showers lingering into Monday, and then we have this ridge that moves in as we go through Tuesday. There, a dry day on Tuesday, but then this next trough moves in, bringing some rain on Wednesday, and that'll last through about Wednesday evening. And then we have this ridge moving in again, dry Thursday until Thursday night. There's going to be an atmospheric river moving in here, which we'll take a look at in a moment, and that could bring a wet Halloween and some wet conditions going into next weekend. You see that troughing to our north and this atmospheric river signature into the first day of November there on Saturday and Sunday. They're going into the atmospheric river starting to push out, but then you still have this ridging potentially. So this is kind of interesting seeing all this ridging and the atmospheric rivers and stuff going on here across the region. Looking at the precipitation map, you can see snow across the mountains, rain across the lowlands. As we go through today, it turns a little bit more showery. Convergent zone potentially tonight across parts of the Seattle metro area and into the Cascades, maybe near Stevens Pass. You see those showers continue through the day. Monday there, and diminishing by the time we get to Monday night. We have a mostly dry day Tuesday. We may have some light showers moving through the area from Olympia northward Tuesday afternoon, and then that frontal system moves in Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, bringing a bit of snow to the mountains and another round of rain to the lowlands. Showers by the time we get to Wednesday morning. You can see those will diminish by the time we get to Thursday. We remain dry until Thursday night. Then Friday morning, you can see that atmospheric river starts to get hung up on Vancouver Island. By midday on Halloween there, it pushes south into western Washington. And then by the time we're trick-or-treating there, 5 to 6 p.m. By 8 p.m., look at that fire hose of moisture just pointed straight at western Washington. Make sure, maybe everyone should dress up as a rain poncho for Halloween, because that's kind of what it's looking like you're going to want to be wearing this year. And that rain continues all the way through Saturday into Sunday morning. There you see some showers, and then we start to dry out again as we go into Monday, just over a week from now. I will take a look more at that atmospheric river later. You can see European model precipitation through Monday night with all these showers and everything moving through. Another half inch or so for the lowlands. You can see the convergence zone areas around Seattle get a little bit more than that, up to an inch on the coast and in the mountains. Some of these areas along the northern Oregon and southern Washington coast favored for more showers, seeing up to another inch of rain. And then as we go into Tuesday and Wednesday, you can see our totals start to increase with that Wednesday frontal system, and that should bring about another half inch to most of western Washington, maybe an inch to the coast and the mountains, but about another half inch to the interior there as we go through Tuesday night into Wednesday. And then taking a look at mountain snow through Tuesday, you can see likely 6 to 8 inches at most of the passes. You will see some impacts today with some snowy conditions on the roads. Likely less impacts at Snoqualmie Pass versus Stevens, White, and Blewett. But still be prepared for some snow and some winter driving conditions. As we go through this week with that Wednesday system, you can see we maybe get a couple more inches of snow at the passes, but not very much. Maybe 1 to 3 inches across the passes on that Wednesday system. And then taking a look here, this is that atmospheric river, that Halloween atmospheric river we were talking about here. This is the European model on the left and the GFS model on the right. And you can see we're looking at amount of water vapor in the atmosphere. And look at the agreement already, just over 5 days out here. You can see as we go into this is about midday on Halloween. You can see that atmospheric river just slamming into western Washington. And the GFS has it much more progressive, has it moving out of the area as almost as soon as it came in, but still bringing rain. Look at the European model, though. It just has it hang up across western Washington all the way into midday Saturday, and then it starts to move out of the area. We'd be looking at 2+ inches of rain with this if it verified. So you can see there is agreement amongst the models that this is something that we're going to have to watch closely. So stay tuned for more information on that as we go through the week. And then taking a look at temperatures, you can see today a pretty cool one. Highs in the mid to upper 40s across western Washington. We warm up a little bit as we go into Monday, highs in the upper 40s to low 50s. As we go to Tuesday, we warm up a little bit more, low to mid 50s, maybe some upper 50s south of Olympia. And then Wednesday, we get back up a little bit more to the upper 50s across the region, mid 50s from Everett northward. And then Thursday, with some of that, more clouds moving through and stuff like that, highs remain in the mid 50s or so. Friday, with the atmospheric river starting to move in there, you have highs in the low to mid 50s, maybe some upper 50s down toward southwest Washington. And then Saturday, fully in the influence of the atmospheric river, you can see those highs up into the mid to upper 50s and muggy across western Washington there. And then by next Sunday, about a week from now, there you can see we get the time change and we start to cool down a little bit more into the mid 50s, maybe still some upper 50s for parts of the South Sound on Sunday. So yeah, you can kind of see that is the picture of what we're looking at over the next week. Expires today, 25% off orders over $70 on the Western Washington Weather merch store. Go and check that out. Link is in the description below. And of course, thank you all very much for watching. Be sure to subscribe here to Western Washington Weather for my upcoming videos about the storm from the coast and then some storm damage across parts of the lowlands later today. And then be sure to check out the Western Washington Weather Facebook group. Got a shout out that it just reached 2,000 members. Huge milestone. Thank you everyone who has joined that over the last day or so, and be sure to check it out. Links in the description. And then follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky as well. Links to those are in the description also. So thank you all very much for watching. It was quite a storm. Glad we made it through together. And stay tuned to the channel for more as we continue to watch our active weather keep going across the region as we go into our most active time of year. So thank you all very much for watching, and I'll talk to you all tomorrow.